Hello everyone, I'm Jewel Diamond Taylor, and today I'm here in Stockton, California. Just concluded a wonderful women's prayer breakfast. The host was the Progressive Community Church. We had over 400 women, and I connected with this young lady named DeAshia. Is that right?
DeAshia.
DeAshia.
Yes.
And the theme was based on Psalm, David talking about praising the Lord, and I talked a lot about David. But you know what? My candle was lit after I heard this young lady speak because she shared her testimony. DeAshia, tell me what your experience was for you today at this prayer breakfast.
Just ultimate joy, and it was just confirmation. Confirmation that no matter what I go through, God is still in the midst of all things. He sees, He knows, He has not forgotten about me.
Yes.
And you got up and just really touched on every single thing that I had been living and going through in life. And so this was just icing on the cake. That everything I had been through is just it just ignited today.
Yes.
It was like it sealed the deal.
It just made it clear why you went through what you went through.
Exactly.
And for you to share your testimony before I spoke, it just really confirmed in me why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Awesome.
You brought the lesson clearly home.
Thank you.
You were very courageous. I love people that are transparent. And DeAshia was transparent today in sharing about her life. You want to share briefly what your testimony was?
Yes. The testimony that I told was that when I was 13 years old, my mom put me on an airplane and said that she told me she loved me and I'll see you soon. And that was almost 25 years ago. And I still haven't seen my mom, but February 7th of this year, the Lord blessed her to call me. So she called me after 25 years. And we are now in great relationship and wonderful fellowship. God is good, and He's done great things. I was reconnected with my one of my brothers, and then just yesterday I got a call from my youngest brother, who I have not even seen in 25 years. So he called me, and he's saved, and God is good. He is doing awesome things, and I'm just blessed, and I'm blessed to see what else God is going to have me do, because I know that God has not brought me this far to just let me go. This is just the beginning of what's to come. And so I'm excited. My mom is very excited to see how we are going to connect, and I can't wait to see her face.
So you haven't physically seen her. You just connected by phone.
Yes, I have not physically seen her yet, but we just talk.
My goodness. And you know, when you were talking about how you yearned to hear your mother say, I love you. You yearn to have your mother's embrace. And how we make choices looking for love in all the wrong places. And you share the importance of forgiveness.
Yes.
And it's going to be difficult for some people to say, you know what, I was abandoned, I was rejected, I was hurt, I was left out. And yet, Lord, you want me to forgive.
You want me to forgive.
But what I understand from you, DeAshia, is that you said that because you were able to forgive your mom, you were able to forgive yourself for your choices.
And what that did, Jewel, is it freed me up. For 25 years being without my mom, not having her say, I love you, I'm proud of you. You hear other people say it, and God has blessed me with so many wonderful women in my life, but there's nothing like a mother's love. Nothing like a mother's love. And to hear her say, I'm proud of you, and I'm so proud of you that you've grown up to be such a great woman and a wonderful mother and a great wife. It just did so much for me. It just put the cap on that jar. Yeah, it made me complete. It was like the piece to the puzzle now fits. And once she started to say how she was sorry, and I said, Mom, you don't even have to say it. I said, because I forgive you. Now where do we go from here? And we had just picked off right where we left off, some years ago when I was 13 years old, and it's been a whirlwind, and I'm so blessed. And
you're blessed because many of us will never hear I'm sorry or I love you. My mother has gone on to glory, and it's something I realized as an adult woman that was missing in my life. And so I'm really happy for you that you would have what they call closure.
Yes.
You know, and then I was so amazed that when you asked me to sign your book, that your mother knew of me. And so I was happy to sign the book for her because you said to me that she watches my videos online.
And so when I talked to my mom, I was in the bathroom at my job. And so we talked, you know, and tried to, you know, catch up really quickly. But right before I hung up, she said, Dee, have you heard of a lady named Jewel Diamond Taylor? And I said, yes, I have. And that's all she's been talking about. And I said, guess what, Mom? Jewel Diamond Taylor is going to be the speaker at our women's prayer breakfast coming up on this year. And she was so excited. So she told me, she said, don't you go to that breakfast and you not get me a signed copy of something. And I said, I won't, Mom. So I thank you so much that you were able to sign that book. And I'm going to put it in the mail to her and send it to her.
I can't wait for you to do that. Because after you spoke, you know, it was just such an inspiration for me because I love when people are transparent because it's really for God's glory. It's not that you're looking for sympathy. It's not that you're ashamed, but you freed up a lot of other people to have the courage to say, you know what, I made some wrong choices. I've been hurt. I've been abandoned. And you know, a lot of times men get the bad press that they're deadbeat dads. Well, there are mothers that have made some choices, weren't there to nurture their children. And this is a reality. And I'm hearing more and more stories of this where people are not afraid to say, you know what, I came from a broken family. It wasn't that my father was, but my mother was missing. In my case, my mother was present, but she was emotionally not available to me. And so I realized that I needed to heal some of those broken places where I felt like I needed her to say, Jewel, you did a good job. I needed her to be around, you know, for my children. I needed a hug. My mother was not the loving, touchy-feely kind of person. So I'm always touching people. I'm always around people. I'm always saying I love you because it's like I miss that. So I give it a lot because I know how important that is. It is,
yes. You know? And it's so easy to just give a smile or a hug or tell somebody that you love them because that goes a long way. People are so blessed sometimes by your presence because they feel like sometimes that what they don't have is in you or in yourself or in myself. So to be able to go over and give a woman a hug and just say, I love you, you know, that they feel freed up by that. That makes them feel good, and it's free.
Yes,
it doesn't cost you anything.
And this message that you're giving out is to that woman who's saying, I don't want to be around women. I don't want to go to a women's retreat. I don't want to go to women's prayer breakfast. There was so much love in that room. There was so much beauty in that room, so much joy in that room, and so much vulnerability. And you set the tone.
Thank you.
You know, you shared things, and you didn't have to do that, but it was very courageous. It was very moving. And I know that other women felt blessed by that. What were some of the comments that you got from the women? Because I saw them stopping you. What were some of the comments that you received?
Thank you so much. You freed, you know, of course, you know, you feel the love, but it's thank you all the time, and God bless you, and you freed me up, and I'm glad that you were able to get up and tell that story. That same story was me. As a young lady, because I was missing my mom's love, I, you know, slept around with a lot of men looking for love in all the wrong places. Was not very loving towards my daughter. And then, you know, as time went on, you know, I realized the mistakes that I made had cost me a lot, and it started weighing really heavy on me, and I started disciplining my daughter out of fear because I didn't want her to be like me.
And isn't that amazing how the generational curse just continues? The very thing you were missing from your mom, it was repeating. And so I'm so glad you're able to break that cycle. I just want to stay in touch with you, and I want to bless you and encourage you because God is using you mightily.